In the video today, we're looking at the top 10 most valuable video games, and in at number 10, it's Pepsi Invaders. Pepsi Invaders sounds like the name of one of Pepsi's many failed product lines, but it's actually a game for the Atari 2600. Commissioned by Coca-Cola for their 1983 sales convention, the game is little more than Space Invaders, with the aliens being replaced by the letters that spell out Pepsi. Never intended for commercial release, only the 125 attendees of the convention received a copy. The number of cartridges that survived to this day is unknown, but the most recent one to surface was snapped up on eBay for $2,125 in early 2010. Number 9. Ultima: Escape from Mount Drash. Escape from Mount Drash is a game for the VIC-20, a very primitive computer from the early 80s. An obscure game for an obscure machine. Only 13 copies of the 3,000 that were manufactured are confirmed to still be in existence today. When it first came out, the game was a commercial disaster, and there are rumors that one retailer even dumped its unsold copies off a cliff. But today the game is worth around $2,500 to serious collectors, no doubt making the guy who ordered that cliff toss feel like an idiot. Number 8. Mr. Boston. Mr. Boston, a promotional game given out by the now defunct liquor company of the same name, is a game for the Vectrex, another machine that will be unfamiliar to anyone who isn't a huge nerd. Mr. Boston is just a slightly edited version of another Vectrex game called Clean Sweep, which in turn is a knockoff of Pac-Man, which makes Mr. Boston the least creative video game ever made. With only 4 copies known to exist, the highly unoriginal Mr. Boston is worth about $3,000. Number 7. Air Raid. One of the rarest Atari 2600 games, Air Raid was the only product of Menavision, who presumably shut down when they realized how bad their game was. Released in the 2600's heyday as a lazy attempt to cash in on its success, few copies were made before Air Raid faded into obscurity. With only 13 cartridges known to exist, it's worth around $3,000, but what's really impressive is that one copy, combined with the only known original box, recently sold for a staggering $31,600. That's not a typo, somebody paid more than the cost of a new car for a cardboard sleeve. That will teach anyone who threw away game boxes when they were a kid. Number 6. Atlantis II. Another Atari 2600 game, Atlantis II wasn't even commercially available. The original Atlantis was popular, and its creators held a contest to win a trip to Bermuda. Whoever sent them a photo of the highest score won, but so many people got a perfect score that they had to break the tie with a more difficult sequel, sent only to those who mastered the first game. Compounding its rarity is the fact that the game cart looks exactly the same as the worthless original, making Atlantis II even harder to find. So if you ever see what looks like a copy of Atlantis at a garage sale, go ahead and fork out the couple of bucks. It could actually be worth $6,000. Number 5. Ultimate 2. Ultimate 2 is a soccer game for the Neo Geo, an obscure console from the early 90s. The Neo Geo attracted a small but very dedicated group of fans, and there are quite a few serious collectors out there. This, combined with the fact that a lot of Neo Geo games were made in limited numbers, makes several of them highly coveted. Ultimate 11 is the second most valuable Neo Geo game. Each of its 10 copies is worth about $10,000. Number 4. Kizuna Encounter. That leaves Kizuna Encounter as the most valuable Neo Geo game at a cost of up to $13,000. It's believed that only 15 copies of the English version were made, although the Japanese version is both identical and common, making it accessible to casual collectors. English copies are for the richest and most obsessive. In late 2009, somebody paid a mind-boggling $55,000 for both Kizuna Encounter and Ultimate 11. The buyer said he'd never consider selling them for any price, so you'll have to put aside your dreams and just start saving for a house instead. Number 3. Stadium Events. Our final 3 games are all for the original Nintendo, and they each have a unique story behind them. Stadium Events was made by a company called Bandai, and it made use of their Family Fun fitness mat, a soft plastic controller that players would run and jump on to make their track athlete move. Nintendo bought the rights to the game and the mat, rebranded them, and, confusing themselves for a totalitarian government, ordered the originals to be pulled from the shelves and destroyed. But 200 copies were sold before Nintendo's death squads could track them down, although only 20 at most are believed to exist today. One copy recently sold for $13,105. The box alone can fetch $10,000, and a sealed copy sold in February of 2010 went for $41,300. To put that in perspective, that's the cost of about 600 Xbox 360 games, or, a couple of cars. Meanwhile, the rebranded game, World Class Track Meet, is worth $10 at most. Number 2, Nintendo Campus Challenge. In the early 90s, Nintendo had a series of competitions across the United States. One of these was the Campus Challenge, where Nintendo representatives visited 58 colleges in 1991. Players would try to get the highest score on a special cartridge. The challenge was a mix of 3 different games, lasting just 6 minutes in total. The winner at every challenge got a free trip to Disney World, where they played in a championship. Again, showing their love of needless destruction, Nintendo ordered all cartridges eliminated once the event was complete. But one employee hung on to his copy, eventually selling it at a garage sale in 2006 for $1,000. In July of 2009, it sold on eBay for $14,000, and 3 months later, it was put on auction again, this time bringing in $20,100. It's probably off the market for good now, although maybe another cartridge is floating around in some Nintendo employee's basement. We bet the people who destroyed their copies feel pretty silly. Number 1. Nintendo World Championships. The holy grail of video games, Nintendo World Championships is very similar to its college counterpart. This was a competition that toured 30 US cities in 1990. There were 3 age categories, and the winners in every city were taken to Universal Studios Hollywood. The champions of each age group got $10,000, a new car, a 40-inch TV, and a gold-plated Mario trophy. Not a bad haul for mastering 6.5 minutes of 3 different games. 116 cartridges were made for the competition, 96 grey and 20 gold. The grey ones are worth a mere $6,000 at most, but it's the gold copies that attract the truly serious collectors. They've gone for as much as $21,000 and are generally considered to be the most sought-after and treasured video games on the planet. So, if Nintendo ever does another one of these championships, take part and grab everything you can. So I really hope you enjoyed that video, and I'd love to know what you think of it, so please leave a comment below. I'm also going to link over to another video that you might enjoy, so just click on that thumbnail on the screen now, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel because we put out a new video 7 days a week, and you can also visit us online. Just go to TopTenz.net. Thanks for watching.